guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Welcome to the video, guys. How are you all doing? Today, well, you can see it. We've got the love and hate-o-meter. Today, we're going to rank all the cards based on all your feedback every single day here for what, 5, 6 years? However long this game has been out, on how much you love or hate all of these freaking cards inside the game. We have over 100 cards to get to, so let's just jump right into it. Spark, just the categories here. We got massive hate, we got a little bit of hate, we got neutral, we got like, and we got love. Dude, we love Sparky. We love Sparky, right? We love Sparky. I love Sparky. But Viva La Sparky, she has a soft spot in my mind, in my heart, I should say. I think the community overall likes Sparky, though. I think they like Sparky. You don't like going against her, but you like the card, right? Don't you dare call her a trash can on wheels. I will ban you from the channel in the comments. Don't even test me. All right. We get the Hunter. I think that people like Hunter. They like Hunter, right? People like Hunter. The Queen, oh, they love the Queen. I'm just joking. I think a little hate on the Queen.
But I'm the Queen!
I think people are starting to realize how, not realize, they pretty much realized how strong she was from freaking day one, Ash. Yeah, I think that she's starting to get a little hate. Musketeer? People love Musketeer. People love, who doesn't love Musketeer, right? She's beautiful, she's great. Ram Rider, I think people like Ram Rider. They like Ram Rider. They don't love Ram Rider, but they like her. Mini P.E.K.K.A, people love the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Who doesn't love pancakes, man? Pancakes, come on, Mini P.E.K.K.A. The Giant, I think people are neutral on the Giant. You don't hear many people saying, I love the Giant or I hate the Giant. Giant is just Giant, neutral. Inferno Tower, everybody loves the Inferno Tower, right? Everybody. Looking at you, Max. Everybody loves the Inferno Tower. You know, yeah, what else do I have to say? I'm joking. I love the Inferno Tower, but I will say that people are generally neutral on the Inferno Tower. Royal Hogs, I think people are kind of neutral on the Royal Hogs right now. Maybe pros, maybe top ladder, a little bit of hate, but I think that generally speaking, I mean, you guys know how it is on mid ladder. Everybody's got Mega Knight Wizard, no big deal. The Three Musketeers, I think people like Three Musketeers. They love Musketeer, but when there's 3 of them, a lot of guys out there, they can't handle 3 women at once in a card, you know? Larry's, people love Larry. People love Larry. Who doesn't? Who has hate for little Larry? Nobody. Nobody. Minions, neutral. No one loves or hates Minions, right? Furnace, a little hate. A little hate for the Furnace, you know? Massive hate, we want to reserve this for like the most hated cards in the game. You know, you can make a case. You can make a case. We'll go a little hate. The Pump, neutral. No one says I hate or love Pump. No one, I've never heard it once in the comments. I hate Pump. Screw Pump users. Goblin Gang, neutral. No one really has strong feelings. I say no one, of course, I'm sure a few of you guys will let me know in the comments when you disagree with me. I'm sure inevitably over 100 cards, gonna be a lot of disagreements with yours truly in today's video. We got the Snowball, neutral. We got the Tornado. I would say Tornado is a neutral card. You know, it's not the Tornado. You don't hate the player, you hate the game. That doesn't really work there, does it, that analogy? Either way, people don't hate on Tornado. They hate on the cards that are combined with Tornado, I think. But it might be veering on a little hate. I don't know. I'm going to go with neutral. Dark Prince, I'm going to go with neutral. People don't hate the DP. Cannon Cart. I think lately, Cannon Cart's getting a little bit of hate. But I still think it's neutral because a lot of people love the Cannon Cart as well. A lot of people love it. We got the Prince now. The Prince, I think, is neutral. I think the Prince, similar to Dark Prince, some people hate it, some people love it, but I think it washes out, right? The Golden Knight, I think that he's getting a little bit of hate now. Not massive hate, but a little bit of hate. All the champions, for the most part, they're just so powerful in the unpredictable nature of the Golden Knight. I think people are kind of on the fence about it. Poison, who hates Poison? It's a neutral card, right? Skeleton Dragons, who hates Skeleton Dragons? It's a neutral card. The Log, I'm starting to already find out here. The Log, people like the Log, right? People like the Log. They don't love the Log, they like the Log. Something strikes me very funny of me saying what everybody thinks about all these cards. Like, who am I to be the arbiter of who people like or love? Whatever, we're doing the video. We're already we're already a quarter of the way through, right? Lightning, people are neutral on the Lightning. The Goblin Giant, neutral. Bar Barrel, neutral. Fisherman, I think people like the Fisherman. Bomb Tower, people are neutral. Some people like it, some people hate it. Same thing with the Lumberjack. Bats, I think people kind of like bats. People I think the majority of you guys recognize bats is like sneaky OP card. And I think for that reason, you like them. You don't hate the bats. So people like it. The Giant Skeleton, I think people do like Giant Skeleton because he's always the king of off meta. But I don't think they like that he's not that good, right? I think people generally like Tombstone as well. Tombstone, we had so long without Tombstone being meta that now that it is, I think people kind of like it, you know? The Goblins, people are neutral, man. Goblins, who uses Goblins? Since Jason back in 2016, nobody. Maybe a few people, you know, Happy Noob, whatever. Ice Spirit, the spirits. You gotta like the Ice Spirit, the little fella. Look at his big smile. He's just happy to be around. Just happy to be a card. The Clone, oh boy. I'm gonna say Clone is massive hate. You never feel, I don't care who you are watching right now, you gotta admit it, when you lose to a Lava Clone, a Golem Clone, a freaking anything clone, you never feel good. You always feel like, oh, great, low skill, congratulations, you 3-crowned me, right? That's how I feel, at least, right? So I think there's massive hate for clone decks, generally speaking. I think there always has been. Flying Machine. The weird thing is, I think that a lot of you guys like the Flying Machine, but I throw a little shade at the Flying Machine. I'm going to interject my own opinion. At least I'm letting you guys know when I do that. A little hate towards the Flying Machine. I don't like the card. It's kind of like Firecracker. I always miss it with my spells, partially because it's tough. You got to pay attention to the shadow, not the Flying Machine. Partially because I just suck as a player, okay? At least I'm honest, right? Royal Delivery, I like it. I think people are generally neutral about it, but I like it. But I'm going to go with you guys, neutral. I think people actually like guards. People like guards. I've heard a few guests here recently, Jax, all about the guards. I think people like guards. Mirror, neutral. Can be a fun card, but you don't like or hate. No one says, I hate Mirror. Nah. Golem, though, a little hate. I don't know what it is. He's just so tanky. He's the quintessential tank of Clash Royale. And a lot of you guys, you just have a little bit of hate for the big fella, don't you? You hate when he explodes on your tower and takes half of the tower down just by the death damage, don't you? I know who you are. I know you Golem haters out there. You feel you're nodding your heads right now. We got arrows. People like arrows. This is the spell that people like, the arrows. The arrows and log, right? Zappies, people like zappies. I think the zappies are a likable little card, right? You got electricity, people like you, generally speaking. Mortar, I think there's a little hate for Mortar right now. It's in all those annoying, really good decks. You know what I'm saying? There's like 5 of them. I think that Mortar's starting to get a little bit of hate, you know? Balloon, a little bit of hate for Balloon too. Balloon was so strong for so long, you know? Battle Healer, oh boy. Oh, massive hate, you know? I mean, she's guilty by association. The Battle Healer Elixir Golem decks are, yeah, well, we're gonna foreshadow Elixir Golem too. People hate they just hate the Battle Healer, man. They hate her. Archers, I think people love the Archers, man. I think people love the Archers. I've never heard anybody hate on Archers. I have rarely heard people even talk about the Archers, to be fair with you guys. Okay. I think most people kind of love them, kind of love those girls, you know? Barbarians are neutral. Bowler, come on. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. People love that. Do you love the bowler or do you like the bowler? Because those are the only 2 options. You don't hate the bowler. You're not neutral on the bowler. You have an opinion. You probably like the big fella. He's blue. You know what? Screw it. People like the Archers. They love the bowler. Who doesn't love the bowler, man? He's a fun card. Just a big blue fella. He's got a personality. He's got the most personality in Clash Royale. You heard it here first. Coming at you with the hot takes today. Skeleton Barrel, neutral. Ice Golem. They like the Ice Golem. People like the Ice Golem. He's good for kiting. He's only 2 elixir. Cheapest win condition in the game. All right, don't get mad at me. He's not a win condition, but he is kind of. He's building targeting, right? Recruits, a little hate. I mean, people have hated the recruits since day one. They had like all these things with the recruits, changing the elixir, changing the configuration, the formation, the Greek phalanx, they had everything, but they've always been hated, you know? So I'm gonna say a little bit of hate, massive hate, we're reserving for a special category. The Bomber, I think that's a neutral card, the Bomber. Rascals are neutral, I think. Valkyrie, I gotta say, there's a little, people love and hate. She's one of those love-hate cards. People love her or they hate her. So I could kind of thread the needle and go neutral, but I think a little hate. I hear more complaints about Valkyrie than I do love for Valkyrie. So I'm gonna go a little hate on Valkyrie, man. She's just so good for 4 elixir. She was tanky, you know? I mean, get her to a tower, you're like, this feels unfair. This feels unfair. Valkyrie taking half my tower. I think the Heal Spirit is neutral. I would put him with the, I mean, he's just as happy, if not happier. Who's happier there between the two spirits there? But I'm going to go neutral because he's more associated with like swarmy decks. Healing is just a bad mechanic in the game, you know? Hog Rada is massive hate or little hate? I'm going to say massive, man. I share a hog deck on the channel and you anti-hog fanatics, you all come out with your pitchforks. You hate the Hog Rider. I don't know why, because I don't hate the Hog Rider, but you guys, some of you guys do. Either the majority of you guys hate Hog Rider, or there is a strong, vocal minority of Hog Rider haters. You guys meet every, Thursday evening. You get together, you eat bacon, you sickos, and you rally on every YouTube channel out there and Reddit against hogs. Fire Spirit, I think he's neutral. Ever since he became good and not 2 elixir anymore, they got to update the tiermaker.com elixir cost. I think he's a little bit more neutral, right? He's been liked in the past, been neutral, he's been hated in the past too. People hate the Furnace more than they hate the Fire Spirit. Can we all agree on that? The Knight is neutral. Some people like him. Some people think he's a little bit too much value for 3 elixir. I think the Electro Dragon is neutral. Mega Minion, people like the Mega Minion. I've never heard a Mega Minion hater in my life. They like him, they don't love him. Same thing with the Inferno Dragon, I would say is neutral. Spear Goblins, I would say is neutral. Battle Ram, neutral. Mega Knight, baby! Right to the neutral? A little hate? No. A lot of hate. A lot of hate. People love to hate the Mega Knight, man. Stomping on their dreams into the arena ability, into your hearts ability of crushing your dreams as well. A little hate, a lot of hate for the Wizard. You guys hate Wizard too, man. You're starting to get a lot of massive hates in there. Mega Knight, Wizard, Hog Rider. I do not regret any of these 5 cards so far in the massive hate category. The Baby D, I like the Baby D, but some people don't like the Baby D. I'm going to put it neutral. It's a love-hate card, kind of. Zap, no one has a strong opinion on Zap. More people probably like it than hate it, but Rocket, nah, there's a little hate on Rocket. There's nothing like a little rocket cycle to make you feel like you've been robbed in Clash Royale, right? A rocket comes down in your tower, or a few rockets come down in your tower, and they just mount a strong defense, and they just rocket you to death. Yeah, people hate that, so a little hate on the Rocket. Maybe a lot of hate, some of you guys. Freeze! Ooh, massive hate! There's a lot of rage around the Freeze. No pun intended. Rage is coming up. Actually, let's tackle Rage. Rage is a little hate. Freeze is a lot of hate. Rage just makes the most annoying cards, the strongest combos in the game, a little bit more annoying, a little bit more pervasive, a little bit more overpowered, overwhelming. You name your adjective. That's what Rage does. Freeze is just the most unfair card in the game, bar none. I'm a big fan because I've said this before for years and years and years here on the channel. Freeze is the card that you can use, a bad player can use to beat a good player consistently, because all it takes is one surprise freeze. You could have the very perfect counter in hand. Freeze comes down, sayonara, game over. You just got beat by a moron. All right, next up. We have Elite Barbarians. Listen, they used to be massive hate. Now I'm going to say a little hate. I still hear a little negativity around my Elite Barbarians. I love them. But, they're a 6 elixir bridge spam troop, essentially. Still, at the end of the day, so it's hard to say that they're neutral. People still hate Elite Barbarians. At least they're not as, when they were introduced to the game, it was just like over-leveled E-Barbs everywhere. That seems to have died down a little bit. So we'll put them a little hate instead of the massive hate category. The Ice Wizard, people have hated him. They've liked him. I think now they're kind of neutral on the Ice Wizard. Bandit, I think it's the same kind of deal. I think that people are neutral. Some people think the Bandit's one of the most OP legendary cards, a little bit too strong. Others say that she's a fun card to play and they like her. So I'm going to go again, kind of thread the needle in neutral. Minion Horde, neutral. I don't think people hate the Minion Horde. They don't love it either. Kind of like Minions. There's no Minion Horde enthusiasts out there. There's no Minion Horde fan club. The Goblin Cage. I think this is an interesting one here. Some of you guys in the comments have thrown a little shade at the Goblin Cage, but I think for the most part, people are neutral on the Cage. Executioner, I think people I think there's a little bit of shade on XC, man. People just don't like XC NATO, you know? Especially now after the small buff, he's a little bit, you know, he's making his face. He's coming to the holiday parties again. You're like, oh, that guy? Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel. Yeah, I don't know. Ever since they changed him to be a little bit happy, he kind of annoys me. You guys remember the old school Executioner? He was a little bit more mad on his little avatar, his little photo. And now that he's redone himself, it's just, I'm not buying it. I still hate him a little bit. Next up, Barb. Oh my God. Barb Hut, get out of here. It's one of the worst cards in the game. Also a little hated, right? I mean, spawners. I'd be lying to you if I put any spawner other than, of course, the Tombstone. Everybody likes the Tombstone in any category other than a little hate, right? The Goblin Barrel. It's crazy. Some of you guys are gonna be bewildered, puzzled by this. But a little hate at the Goblin Barrel. The most popular win conditions in the game. Goblin Barrel, Hog Rider. Look at the use rates. They're always the top most used decks in the game. And I think because they're so popular, people tend to hate them. A lot of you guys say something that respectfully, I love each and every one of you guys, even the ones that are like, why am I still watching this annoying, mediocre YouTuber 17 minutes into the video? Even you, I love you. But I don't know why you think that log bait. Some of you guys think that log bait is like the lowest skill cap win condition and deck in the game. And I never understood that, man. I think it's like a middle of the road, you know? It's not the highest, not the lowest. But you guys, yeah, some of you guys just hate bait, hate log bait in particular. Lava Hound, I will say, some of you sickos, I'm gonna retell this video. It is, you know, the roast of Ash's audience. This video is really falling off the rails, huh, guys? I'm sorry. The Lava Hound, some of you weirdos think it's a dude. It has pups, man. It's not, don't give me the seahorse argument, okay? It's a girl, and I think it's neutral. They hate the balloon, they hate the clone, they don't hate the hound, right? Maybe? Royal Ghost, I think it's neutral. Magic Archer, I think there's a little bit of hate for Magic Archer. Some people like Magic Archer if you play him. If you don't play him, if you play against him, nothing worse than having a Magic Archer do like 8 fireballs worth of damage on the through shot connection on your Princess Tower, right? Graveyard, I think is a neutral win condition. You know, it depends on what deck you're playing. Fireball is a neutral spell. Princess, again, it's a love-hate on Princess, but I think overall, it's a pretty neutral card. I think actually people kind of like the Princess. I think people like the Princess. I think people like her. She has that awesome Enter the Arena video. Not ability, but the video. Anyway, Tesla. It's a little hate on the Tesla, guys. Hate to say it, but there's a little hate. It's so strong. It's so strong. 4 elixir building, it's way too strong. The Night Witch right now, she's not super powerful or annoying. I think she's a neutral card. The Goblin Hut, I don't care. It's still a little hate. You know, maybe not as hated as the Furnace, but it's a spawner. Nobody said, oh, I love spawners, unless you're a dirty spawner user. All right, we have Earthquake. I'll say it's a neutral card. Some people love it, some people hate it. Skarmy, I think, again, is kind of a neutral card. You don't hear a lot of Skarmy haters out there. The Royal Giant, a little hate. People just never got over. The same thing with the E-Barbs. It's really died down. Back in 2016, when it was added, people were like, dude, this guy's the most hated card in the game. Now, a little hate. Those people have never left the grudge totally, you know? E-Wiz, again, he's got electricity. People like him. People kind of like the E-Wiz. Witch is neutral. Some people hate Witch. Some people love Witch. I'm neutral on Witch too, so that's what we'll call her. Miner, I think people like the Miner, you know? I think the B-Rad fan club, you know, so many, you know, B-Rad what? B-Rad's the most popular comment in the history of my comments of all time. B-Rad has the biggest fan club in Clash Royale history, even surpassing the Great Surgical Goblin. No one's ever loved anything more than they've loved B-Rad in Clash Royale, and thus, they love the Miner, because B-Rad is the king, the god of Miner. 3.0, Miner Valkyrie cycle. I see you guys, I love you guys. B-Rad's fan club, you're always welcome in my comment section. You're happy to request him every video as well. I'd love to have him back on. So B-Rad, people like the Miner, right? By virtue. Plus, when I think of Miner, I think of B-Rad. But secondarily, I think of those weird thumbnails where Tag and Morton are turned into not turned into B-Rad, that'd be weird, turned into a Miner on the thumbnail. I kind of like those. But anyway, Miner in a vacuum, take away, you know, content creators. I think that people generally like the miner. They like the miner, right? You can't hate the miner. Keyboard warriors right now are like, I hate the miner, Ash, you loser. All right. Neutral on wall breakers. We got Pekka. I think Pekka gets a little bit of love and a little bit of hate, so we'll call her neutral. The Elixir Golem, yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of hate for the Elixir Golem. It's annoying, right? But they belong right together. It's like a match made in heaven, the Elixir Golem, the Battle Healer. So yeah, there's massive hate for the Elixir Golem. Where is, okay, I just wanted to make sure he was there. The big fella down there hiding. Expo, dude, there's massive hate for Expo. I hate to say it. I'm sorry, Expo users. You've got, you know, the odds are constantly stacked against you. Clash Royale is always nerfing your win condition. Clash Royale is always adding cards that are good counters to your win condition. And the community hates you too, on top of all of that. Especially Icepo, Rocket Cycle, ooh. Anyway, we have the Dark Goblin. People hate going against the Dark Goblin, but I'll tell you what, guys. They love the Dark Goblin. People in a vacuum, people love the Dark Goblin. He would probably win a Clash Royale popularity contest, I feel like, you know? Don't you? People love the little fella. They love Dark Gob. All right, we have the Firecracker. Who? I want to say massive hate. I think so. I think massive hate for the Firecracker. People get very annoyed going against the Firecracker. Something about her knockback effect and missing spells. Not that I would know anything about that, boys and girls. The cannon, people love. I'm just joking. Who am I kidding? No one even cares about the cannon. All right, except for 2.6 users. Looking at you, Oyasu. All right, we got the Electro Giant. Go ahead and take your crown, E-Giant. Overclone. There we go. Take your crown as the most hated card in the game. I think it is, that's right, the Electro Giant. Certainly what you guys comment the most is probably Electro Giant, followed by the Mega Knight, if I just had to put them in random order, followed by probably the Hog Rider in terms of what I see in my comments, Twitter, Reddit, etc. Now, people hate the drill so much that they put two of them here on tiermaker.com. So we'll say that they're both pretty neutral right now. They were hated when it was really good, but yeah, I think that right now it's still a really good card, but I don't think people really hate the drill or love the drill. The Electro Spirit, I think people like the little fella, right? Although he's not as happy as the Heal Spirit and the Ice Spirit. He's kind of, I don't know, what is he? Constipated? What is he doing over there? I'm not sure. Mother Witch, people still kind of throw a little bit of shade at the Mother Witch. I think she's kind of properly balanced right now, but there's nothing worse than just, you know, dropping a Skarmy at the bridge because you're a noob like me, or, you know, casting a graveyard, and then seeing 150 of these guys, these piggies, coming at you in the opposite direction. It feels very, very, I don't know, you feel helpless when that happens. And here he is, the Skeleton King. I said before that all the champions are either massive or a little hate, but the truth is I stand corrected. People kind of like the Skeleton King. You know why? It's because we all thought he was mediocre or bad in the beginning, and now we're coming around to him, and now I think that, you know, it's an expectation game. You know, we thought he was bad, now he's pretty good, and you feel happy and proud when you use a deck with a card that people used to think wasn't that good, and now he actually is good. So I think we actually like the Skeleton King. Let me know what you agreed and what you disagree with me, guys, on this video. Where was I most wrong? That's what I want to hear from you guys. I don't care where you agree. Who am I kidding? Tell me what I was wrong. Tell me how stupid I am in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video, guys. A big shout out to the sponsor again. I appreciate you guys helping me out there. Clicking the link, checking out my Raid YouTube channel as well. And of course, a massive shout out to Clash Royale and to Bren Chong, our YouTube partners. Check out their information in the description below. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.